Good evening, I'm Jeff Slawson. Tonight, we're learning more about the victims of that mass shooting in Indianapolis, including one with indirect ties to Western New York. Police say a former employee shot and killed those 8 people at a FedEx facility last week. The victims range in age from 19 to 74. One of them is 32-year-old Matthew Alexander, who you can see by the jersey that he's wearing in these pictures. He was an avid fan of the Buffalo Bills, and as 7 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Poria is going to show us how he came to love his hometown team.
You're a disrespectful little that's who you are.
The Buffalo police lieutenant caught on that cell phone video you just saw calling a woman a vulgar slur last June is no longer with the department. Michael DeLong retired on March 30th. That is according to Buffalo Police Chief Captain Ronaldo. DeLong called a 25-year-old Buffalo woman an expletive after she questioned the large police presence responding to a man at the 7-Eleven off Niagara Street. The BPD suspended DeLong following that incident. An I-team investigation found he had been suspended 4 previous times. He will retire with a pension and health benefits. Now to the Erie County race for Erie County Sheriff in our I-team series, looking into the past records of the major candidates. Tonight, Chief Investigator Charlie Specht looks into Sheriff candidate Kimberly Beatty and the harassment allegations against her that cost taxpayers thousands of dollars. Beatty recently retired from the force and now runs security at Canisius College. She did decline comment for the story, but you can read the full statement right now on Charlie's story at WKBW.com. The National Transportation Safety Board is out with its preliminary report on a deadly plane crash investigation. The NTSB says it found no evidence of any mechanical malfunctions that would have caused the single-engine plane crash earlier this month in Great Valley, where you're seeing on your screen right now. Federal investigators spoke with eyewitnesses who say they saw the plane struggling to take off before it crashed just off the runway. Authorities also revealed in this report it's believed weather was not a factor. A passenger did die in this accident and the pilot was seriously injured. New York's top prosecutor has been authorized to investigate Governor Cuomo to determine if he broke the law in the process of writing and promoting his recent book. The state comptroller wrote to Attorney General this month after asking her to begin a potential criminal investigation. The comptroller questions if the governor violated state laws by using state resources to help write and promote his pandemic leadership book. The governor said today that some of the people who were mentioned in the book volunteered to review it for him. There is a new sign in the South Towns that is drawing some attention. It's a message to the city of good neighbors from a man who is now getting back on his feet. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Allie Toohey has the story. What an awesome story, Allie. Congrats to Kevin. Thank you. Up next, the COVID-19 alert for Western New York, what the governor is saying about the alarming data. Plus, a local staple comes back to life thanks to some of its most loyal customers. Back now with the COVID-19 concerns for Western New York. The region remains a hotspot for coronavirus infections compared with the rest of the state. And the question tonight is why? Here are the latest numbers. You can see that the 7-day positivity rate for Western New York is still sitting below 5%, but that's well above the state's average of 2.9%. As 7 Eyewitness News reporter Eileen Buckley tells us, it could be a triple threat of reopening, new COVID variants, and spring break that is driving up these numbers. Eileen, thanks. New York is loosening up restrictions again for museums, zoos, movie theaters, and large arenas like the Key Bank Center. Beginning next Monday, museum and zoo capacity will be raised to 50%. Also happening Monday, movie theaters will be allowed to increase their capacity to 33%. And then beginning May 19th, large indoor arenas will have their capacity limit raised to 25%. As for restaurants, they are also getting a little bit of a relief. The statewide curfew is being extended 1 hour, so that means restaurants can stay open until midnight beginning today. This is a good news for one local staple in Lockport, as they're back open for business after the pandemic forced them to shut down. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Alla Araby shows us how the community helped bring the restaurant back to life. Good barbecue, that is something I could take all day long. And Andy, it's really upsetting because you're going to need the warmth of that barbecue. Is there snow really in the forecast? This is like the worst case scenario for everyone.
Yeah, this is absolutely legit.
There is good news in the new state budget for students and staff in the Hamburg and Frontier Central School Districts. They're getting an additional $6.5 million from Albany. That's nearly an 11% increase over last year. It's a big chunk of change in a pandemic year that cost so many school districts a lot of money. The new budget agreement keeps the state investment going over a period of the next 3 years. The high school wrestling season is about to kick off here in Western New York, but there are new concerns about whether or not the season will actually begin for schools here in Erie County. The wrestling season is scheduled to begin on May 3rd. We'll be right back. And thanks for joining us with 7 Eyewitness News at 7. Our crew is going to be right back here tonight at 11 o'clock. We will see you then.